Canada is famous for being the world's most polite nation. We are the country that apologizes when someone else bumps into us. But behind the clean streets and the friendly smiles, something is quietly breaking. Right now, a 38-year-old engineer in Toronto, earning nearly $100,000, realizes he can never afford a home in the city where he was born. At the same time, a nurse is finishing a double shift, only to head straight to a food bank because her rent ate her entire paycheck. This isn't a loud collapse. It's a very Canadian, very quiet unraveling. Today, we look at the 5 hidden cracks that are stealing a generation's future in plain sight. 5 cracks. Starting now. There's a country where strangers hold doors open for each other, where people genuinely apologize when someone else bumps into them, where the government is polite, the streets are clean, the healthcare is free, and according to every global happiness index, life is supposed to be good. That country is Canada, and right now, behind that polite, peaceful, perfectly maintained surface, something is quietly breaking. Not loudly, not dramatically. Canada would never be that rude. Just a slow, steady, very Canadian unraveling that the government keeps describing as temporary, while the data keeps saying something else entirely. A 38-year-old old software engineer in Toronto, earning $95,000 a year, cannot afford to buy a home in the city he was born in. Not a mansion, not a penthouse, a one-bedroom apartment, a Vancouver nurse working double shifts, feeding her family with a food bank because her rent consumed everything else. A Montreal University graduate with a master's degree and $60,000 in student debt, living with his parents at 31, not by choice, by mathematics. Canada didn't arrive here suddenly. 5 cracks hidden underneath the politeness, underneath the apologies, underneath the reputation, have been spreading quietly for over a decade. And the most unsettling part, the people inside it are only just starting to feel what the numbers have been saying for years. Britain chose nostalgia over reality. Japan chose politeness over honesty. Canada chose something different, and in some ways more dangerous. It chose the appearance of fine over the admission of broken. 5 cracks, starting now. In 1990, the average Canadian house cost 3 times the average annual salary. 3 times. You worked 3 years, saved aggressively, and owned something real, something permanent, something that grew with you. Today, the average Canadian house costs 13 times the average annual salary. Not in Vancouver, not in Toronto specifically. Nationally, on average, 13 times. That number doesn't just mean houses are expensive. It means the entire social contract that previous Canadian generations lived by. Work hard, save, own a home, build a life is mathematically broken. A 30-year-old Canadian today doing everything right, earning a good salary, saving aggressively, would need to save every single dollar for 11 years just for a down payment. Not the house, the down payment. And while they save, rents are rising faster than salaries. So the money they need to save keeps getting eaten by the rent they're paying because they can't afford to buy. It's a trap with no exit built into it. And the people who built the trap are the ones who bought homes in 1990 for $180,000 and are now sitting on $1.4 million in property value. They did nothing to earn except exist at the right time. Right now, pause for 1 second and drop a comment. Trapped. If you or someone you know has given up on ever owning a home, because I want to know how many people are living this exact reality that the government keeps calling a housing challenge, as if it's a Sudoku puzzle, rather than a generation's entire future quietly stolen in plain sight. Canada built its entire identity on one idea. Come here, work hard, build something. We will take care of you. For decades that idea was real. Immigrants arrived, found jobs, built communities, bought homes, sent their kids to university, and genuinely built Canada alongside everyone else. Then something changed. Between 2022 and 2024, Canada added 2.5 million new people. In 2 years, more than the entire population of Manitoba arriving in 24 months. Sounds like growth, sounds like ambition, sounds like exactly what a big, empty country should want. Except, nobody built new houses for them. Nobody expanded hospitals for them. Nobody created enough jobs at the level they were qualified for. Indian engineers driving Ubers, Filipino doctors working as care assistants, Pakistani architects stacking shelves, While Canada congratulates itself on its diversity numbers, these aren't lazy people. These aren't people who failed. These are skilled, qualified, desperate human beings who were invited in with a promise. That quietly evaporated the moment they landed, and now they're competing with the Canadians who were already struggling for the same shrinking pool of affordable housing and livable wage jobs. A government that imports people faster than it builds the infrastructure to support them isn't running an immigration policy. It's running a pressure cooker. Crack 3 productivity. Canada has a ghost problem. Its economy looks alive from the outside. Employment numbers seem reasonable. GDP technically moves. But output per worker, the actual measure of whether an economy is genuinely growing, has been flatlining since 2015. 9 consecutive years of Canadians working without meaningfully producing more. The US grew productivity by 18% in that same period. Germany, even mid-collapse, outperformed Canada. Canada essentially built an economy of busy people going nowhere faster every year. Here's something Canada's government will never say in a press conference. The average Canadian household owes $1.85 for every single dollar it earns. Not the government, not corporations. Ordinary Canadian families. The highest household debt ratio of any G7 nation on Earth. For years this felt harmless. Interest rates were near zero. Borrowing was cheap. Mortgages were manageable. Then 2022 arrived. The Bank of Canada raised interest rates 10 times in 18 months. A family in Mississauga bought their home in 2020 at 1.9% interest. Renewal came in 2023. New rate 5.9%. Monthly payment jumped by $1,400. Not annually, every single month. They didn't lose their jobs. They did exactly what Canadian society told them. Buy a home, be responsible, build equity, and got financially destroyed anyway. Crack 5, the brain drain. Canada spent decades attracting the world's best talent. Now that same talent is leaving. Between 2022 and 2024, Canadian emigration to the United States hit a 30-year high. Doctors, engineers, entrepreneurs, researchers, making one quiet calculation: lower taxes, better salaries, more opportunity. And the border is right there. 4 hours from Toronto is New York. 3 hours from Vancouver is Seattle. 2 hours from Montreal is Boston. Every single one offering more for the same work. In the same time zone, Canada built a reputation as the place the world's talent came to. It is quietly becoming the place Canada's own talent leaves from. A country losing its best people to the neighbour next door isn't facing competition. It's facing a mirror. Subscribe right now, because next week we connect every crack in every economy we've covered into one picture that changes everything. Here's what makes Canada different. From every economy we've covered this year, Germany was arrogant about its strength. Japan was silent about its weakness. Britain was nostalgic about its past. China was aggressive about its future. Canada is just too polite to admit any of it. And politeness, when a country is quietly breaking, isn't a virtue, it's a delay. Every polite silence about housing cost another generation their first home. Every comfortable conversation about immigration numbers filled another city without filling it with opportunity. Every delayed debate about household debt let another family sign a mortgage they couldn't survive a rate rise on. Politeness built Canada, and politeness is now costing it everything. Here's the number that ties it all together. In 2015, Canada ranked 9th globally for quality of life. In 2024, 21st. 12 places, 9 years. No war, no disaster. Just 5 cracks everyone saw that nobody wanted to be impolite enough to fix. And here's where it becomes personal. If you're watching from the US, your housing market has the same cracks. If you're watching from the UK, your brain drain has the same numbers. If you're watching from anywhere, where hard work feels like it stopped leading somewhere, you already know this feeling. Every country in this series, Germany, Japan, China, Britain, Canada, made different mistakes, but shared one thing. They waited until the cracks were too wide to ignore, before admitting they existed. The people who come out ahead are never the ones who waited for their government to fix it. They're the ones who saw it early, understood what it meant, and moved differently, before everyone else realized moving was necessary. You now know what most people don't. That's always where it starts. If this series has changed how you see the world, subscribe, for the person who sees what others miss before it costs them everything. See you next week.